Hello there, beloved twin flames. You could be tuning in if you resonate with the twin flame concept. Soulmates are a little bit different, but if you resonate with the 144,000, you've been watching me for a while, I'm going to begin with an opening prayer here. Heavenly Father, we gather in your holy presence as the 144,000, chosen and sealed in your love. Bless every twin flame with the fire of your spirit, aligning us in the perfect union with Christ. May our hearts be purified, our souls strengthened, and our path illuminated by your eternal light. We surrender fully to your will and open ourselves to the truth today in love union that you have ordained in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Now, there's been some heavy, intense procrastination just in regards to doing readings. For me personally, I'm not going to relate or reflect it with the collective whole. Doing a little bit of a yawn today, but let's get into the Divine Masculine read. I don't want to go for as long. I did recently just purchase these yes no coins for clients, and I'm going to begin by clearing with my new Tibetan bells. Oh my god, I actually remember doing this. That's so nostalgic. I remember doing this when I first started my channel. So you can book into a clearing, a cord cutting, chakra clearing, whatever. The twin flame heart yoking is really the place to be at this time. But look, it's just like the collective is scattered everywhere at this time. Let's go into the Divine Masculine's four bodies of existence: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So let's have a look how the masculine is experiencing the physical body of existence, please, Jesus. What is the overall reflection here coming through for the divine masculines today? Wow. We've been speaking a little bit about the masculines, but I don't want to pick up on anything from the past here. I just want to be very eternally now based in regards to physical body of existence, please, Spirit. For the divine masculines, their physical body, their physical reality. What is a reflection here from the tarot? And I do have the Rider-Waite tarot. Yay! That was a present for my birthday. Oh, very interesting. We have the Knight of Cups. I had some very interesting dreams last night, so I'm hoping that it comes out in the dreams, what the F is actually going on. So we do have the Knight of Cups in the divine masculines physical body of existence. So, Knight of Cups is all about caring and romance and the artistry that comes with this eternally youthful expression. How can I give love in the physical? Beautiful position to be in here. Knight of Cups for the divine masculines in the physical body of existence. This is the bird of paradise, and it stands on the edge of a golden cup, brimming with fruits, its head thrown back to sing its praise to the sky. So birds of paradise are symbols of freedom, creativity, romance, and charm. So this implies that the divine masculines are about to receive good news or an influx of inspiration, or be the bringer of good news or influx of inspiration. This is the twin flame reading, so relating to their divine feminine. Or whether they're thinking about pursuing romantic or creative interests, now is the time to bite the bullet and follow through. So, I can see this notion here for the divine masculines, which again, this is what I can't speak on what came up on my dream because it was very intimate and very personal. It had some specific souls and it was really weird, but look, it was all about biting the bullet. It was all about, I like you, I've liked you for a while now. I'm going to express this to you, which has shifted. Again, I don't want to bring up the past, but in regards to the collective divine masculine soul cry of I can't find you, now it's shifted to when I find you, I'm going to get, or when I meet you, when I get my hands on you type of energy. When I bite that bullet and actually unite with you, return to you for some of you, in the physical, I'm going to bite the bullet and tell you. There's a deep need, especially with the Pisces full moon coming up on the 7th of September. There's a deep need. It's like bringing yearning back. and not yearning through separation, like the expression of yearning. I see a divine masculine standing before a divine feminine here and expressing the truth of how he yearns her, like his physical body actually yearns for the touch of the feminine. Now, he has overcome many. This is a 10 of wands here. Wands representing the spiritual, the fire element in the physical body of existence. You could book in for a protection for TIs for your divine masculine, or if you are a masculine, book in for the protection for TIs. If you feel like things are going wrong in your physical, if it's a struggle, 10 of wands for me personally is the spiritual warfare. It's that spiritual struggle. The load has become too much to carry. And this really is pointing to, again, the yearning. The yearning for the feminine at times becomes too much for the masculine. In a sense, it's unnatural because that yearning comes from Sophia, for Thelitos, for Christos, the longed for one, the yearned for one. So when the masculine's like in their Sophianic soul reception at a feminine essence, he just instantly activates him looking for that physical touch with his feminine. So a lot of them, I don't know how to put the words to this. They're really craving, that's the word I'm looking for. Craving, yearning, longing, physical intimacy, physical touch with their feminine. And there is high probability here for the collective of twins that have stepped forward within the 144,000 today. There is a high probability of your being physically intimate or having a physical meeting here, a physical union or reunion. So we have the High Priestess in the emotional body of existence. So, he's really outlined, detailed through that emotional visualization, even from like adolescence, from childhood, in regards to the desire of the divine feminine, like what she will look like, what she will think like. And the masculine here is like, this feminine that he's perceiving, because again, they see your soul today, all right? We went through the soul cry a few days ago in regards to I can't find you, but they do have an image. They have been gifted awareness, wisdom, and unveiling of your soul, whether you'll have met in the physical or not, right? So they have this overall feeling of who their feminine is, who their high priestess is, who their twin flame is. And in some way, they do put you up on a pedestal because, you surpass, you outweigh any feminine that he has ever met. You align to his goals, dreams, desires, fantasies to a T, more so than any other feminine that he's come across. So it's very interesting how it's shifted, and I'm like looking, it's like they did push through the illusion of separation. They pushed through any karmic perceived false twins, if you will, any running or chasing type of energy, any separation consciousness. They've really pushed through, gone through their trials, traumas, and tribulations, in separation, which has been in the physical, I can see here at times, and they know, consciously and subconsciously here, Spirit is saying that it is a fight to be with you. It is somewhat of a spiritual warfare to be with you. There are dark forces in perception that are keeping you apart. So, Knight of Cups and then coupled there moving into the emotional body of existence here with the High Priestess, they know they have to go through an ego death, and they are going through an ego death in the emotions, at least, like overcoming lust, overcoming, they've really redefined here what longing for, what yearning, what true love actually is for them. They've assessed, they've questioned, like, am I just longing for physical touch because I'm like some badass horny masculine, or is this actually love? Like, what is this magnetic pull? What is this situation where I can't stop thinking about the feminine, going about my day at work or within studies or at home? I can't stop thinking about the divine feminine. What the fuck is going on? So, look, emotionally, they've accepted here that you are their high priestess, And they do have to go through trials, traumas, tribulations. They've gone through dark nights of the soul. They're going through ego deaths, to be with you, to arrive at their destiny of union or reunion with you. Let's move into the mental body of existence here, please, Spirit, for the divine masculines. It's interesting because what Spirit is showing me is after that soul cry of I can't find you, I can't see you, they actually had a dream about you, about the divine feminines. So we have the Eight of Swords, which is interesting because, the mole comes up when especially in the mental body of existence, they are attempting doing the best they can to hide from any judgments, expectations, or attachments. And this is also coming from the divine feminines as well. Any attachments, judgments, or expectations that are mirrored out, more specifically, in the divine feminine, they want nothing to do with it. They would rather go hermit, go isolate, go hide like the little mole in their cave. Which is interesting that there's this ref around. I just want to tail back here to the High Priestess and the emotional body of existence. It does bring and imbue mystery, unattainability, and spirituality. So some of the masculines here are viewing their feminine as unattainable. Even if they are in physical union with their twin, there is an aspect, a higher self, your soul, this wisdom that you imbue as a feminine. So I feel like I'm speaking directly to feminists today. It's interesting when I do that, but whatever. And, they do see that part of yourself unattainable. They do see you in high regard. This is the wolf standing between two pillars. And the High Priestess indicates that the masculines have reached the bridge that connects the physical realm and the subconscious. So that's actually how they found their feminine. They connected the physical realm and their subconscious. So, take that as you will. So we do have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so the Eight of Swords, it's about taking the blindfold off. There's restriction, there's victimization, and there's an entrapment feeling. So it's like they are kind of stuck in living the idea of being with this unattainable image or version of their divine feminine. Okay, for some of them, perhaps their job is draining them dry. A relationship they've entered has swiftly turned abusive, or other similar situations. Their options may feel limited, but they truly aren't. So masculines, seek out new perspectives and rid yourself of unproductive thoughts and intentions. Masculines, once you realize which directions you can go in, commit to the decision and understand that even if you have no guarantee of success, attempting to find happiness elsewhere is better than remaining trapped in your current hellish hole. Okay? So there's this sense of entrapment where the divine masculine is. Again, I'm hearing fake it till you make it, visualization, prayer, petition to God, all these different things that you can shift up your mental state here, your thought processes, divine masculines will just start thinking more positive perceptions, release the judgments, have unwavering faith, don't walk by sight or fight, walk by faith. Then we have the Nine of Wands here. So there is some trauma, there is some hesitancy, there seems to be this lingering, I don't know if I can 100% trust the feminine type of situation here, as the masculine is looking back to the past of all the spiritual warfare, the trials, traumas, tribulations, the ego death. He is protecting himself, but yet he's holding on. Wands, staff with a flag there, wand. He is holding on to the spiritual soul contract with the scroll, the twin flame commitment, which you'll have chosen, are choosing, at a soul level in every moment. It really is a reflection between you and God. I feel like the masculines have been communicating to God, whether through prayer, petitions to God, and, really, in some of them, taking on that image of Christ. And that's why the Knight of Cups have rocked up in the physical body of existence, because the masculine's I'm liking this new image. I'm liking this new me. How can I gift this image, this is ripe for the picking. Like, how can I gift it to my divine feminine? Okay, where is my divine feminine? Found her through a little bit of an ego death. Look, she's unattainable. Certain versions of you that he wants to tap into seem unattainable. So, you know, he's kind of, there's a hesitancy in regards to, I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to trigger her. You know, I don't want to embarrass her. I don't want, like, for some of the masculines, they literally want to see this sensual, unconditionally, unapologetically expressive divine feminine, right? They want to see her go wild for him, and they're like, how can I tap into this raw, wild divine feminine essence where she's comfortable around me, where she's chill, where she's free? And then we have the Two of Cups. Then we have the Two of Cups. Look, Two of Cups is the most sought after card in my experience for being a twin flame reader for the last 8-9 years. Everyone wants the Two of Cups. Really cool. So the Two of Cups here in this animal tarot represent partnership, compatibility, and equality. So look, it did kind of come out sideways. So I'm going to touch on the reversed element here, arguments, dominance, and breakups. For, you know, a huge portion of the collective, there is some soul, like, cord cutting situations, okay? The masculine here does need to release from feeding arguments, release a dominant submissive energy play, and also break up soul cord cutting, contracts ending type of situation with people, places, situations, and things in their life. The fact that it's in the spiritual body of existence, you know, twin flame heart yoking meditation, like book into a personalized twin flame heart yoking meditation, and, you know, this will truly bring you all together at that singularity at a level of heart here. But this is very deep, meaningful connection that the divine masculine here has with his divine feminine. Like, he knows there's like no one else like the feminine. Whoever that feminine is for him, okay? So, divine masculines, you do see your twin flame, your divine feminines, higher self, their soul. And yes, it may look a little bit different. Like, you may be tapping into your divine feminine and be like, but I view her as this high priestess. I know, I feel her, that that's the true her. Why is she coming before me with masks? Why is she acting like this? Why are we going through, you know, certain dominant, submissive type of energy plays? Why can't she just show up as that confident, divine high priestess that I know her as? You know, there's certain aspects like that that are coming through. It's fine. It will balance out, is what I can see. And we have the Hierophant here to the High Priestess, which is really good. I was waiting for that to come out. You know, they are seeking esoteric awareness, knowledge. Like, now is the time, divine masculines, you know, to truly seek your truth. Dive deep into the twin flame construct. What is a twin flame? Who created the label twin flame? How does it reflect with the Holy Bible, the 144,000? Maybe it's time for you all to read Revelations or something of the sort. Divine masculines. Like, there seems to be this itch that just isn't being scratched, and awareness is the only true gift. Divine masculines, okay? So this is a higher divinely ordained relationship. This is an honor to be set apart as the 144,000, or to even stand up and claim. Like, I read something the other day, like, chosen ones don't say that they're chosen ones. You know, there is truth in that. However, if you do not move as the 144,000, as a twin flame, as a chosen one, if you do not move into acceptance that you are receiving this information from the external, or you've directly had commune, spoken to God, spoken to Jesus about this, and he's wanting you, there's a notion of, yes, accept that you are a twin flame, that this is happening to you, that you're not crazy. Masculines, you've got to go deeper into it, okay? The feminines, I can see, you know, from 2016, you know, around then, they went into deep acceptance, right? We are the receptionists, the feminines. It's like we have accepted it. The masculines, you all are going through that acceptance. It's not just about the relationship, right? It's not just about like, oh, God is giving me this woman, God is giving me a wife, like God is giving me a gift. Like, this is not about us. This is about the second coming of Christ. This is about unity consciousness. This is about relieving reality, turning our backs from the ways of the world so we do not add to any more separation, suffering, death, disease, decay, etc. in this illusionary reality of duality. There is a deeper recognition, acceptance, and awareness that needs to come forth here from the Divine Masculines this week, and I believe it will, because we have the Two of Cups and the Hierophant in the spiritual body of existence. So let's go into the Oracle card here. We have 7. If you hear a Sasquatch sigh. The fuck? I can't. So, yes, very interesting. These cards are very interesting. If you'd like a quick channeled message from your Divine Masculine or Feminine, they come through as voice recordings. I speak in the I Am Presence in their words in regards to a quick channel message coming through for you. But for the Divine Masculines here, we have spiritual narcolepsy. What the fuck is narcolepsy? I've never seen that word. What the fuck is that? A condition characterized by an extreme tendency to fall asleep whenever in relaxing surroundings. Or what? That's interesting, because, like, yeah, very interesting. So, spiritual narcolepsy, seeing through the lens of separation, competition, arrogance, ego, and narrow-mindedness. Divine Masculines, if you hear a Sasquatch sigh, know that they are sad because you've fallen into a trap of spiritual narcolepsy. You've forgotten your partnership with the universe and your Divine Feminine, and instead are working through your ego. You think you see clearly, but you're temporarily blinded to the magic in the world. Perhaps you're comparing yourself with others, or perhaps you are seeing through the lens of lack and limitation, and therefore thinking there isn't enough of that you, or not enough, or that you are not enough. In this moment, you're being called to wake up and remember the inherent divinity in all things and in all people. Perhaps you can't see the magic and mystery because you've lost faith, you don't believe, or you've become hypnotized by temporary outer conditions that present as rigid or fixed. You may feel an overwhelming weight and responsibility on your shoulders to make things happen. That's really coming from the Knight of Cups here as well. It's like, bite the bullet. Yes, life can be truly hard, unfair, unreliable, exhausting, irrational, and chaotic, but none of those things are permanent or personal. Remember, all things must change, and you are now and always have been a conduit for miracles. Divine Masculines, wake up, reorientate yourself, declutter your thoughts and your environment, and be grateful these episodes are fleeting. You do not need to define your sense of self by outer conditions. This is a time to dive into more self-love and compassion, cultivate a sense of humor. For you are more than enough. You matter. The life loves you so much. Look to the signs around you. The whole world is your oracle. Spirit has a plan. All right, guys. Look, I'm really feeling for the Divine Masculines. Again, I'm in such an androgynousness, personification of androgynousness. Like, I feel legit half masculine, half feminine. Like, I feel my masculine, and this is reflecting to a T. Again, masculines, if, like, I feel like there's some souls here that are masculines that are, like, you know, a little bit intimidated to reach out to me. Like, don't be intimidated. Reach out, comment below, connect to me, Emily Davey on Facebook, or indigo.moon1111 on Instagram. Like, just reach out to me. Even if you don't have any money or can't afford a reading, Divine Masculines, you know, I am there, and I'm willing to reply to your messages and, like, you know, give you some advice, etc. I just was guided to state that because I do believe that there are some masculines here that are just like, yeah, this resonates, but I don't know what the F to do. So, again, Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. I'll see y'all in the Divine Feminine read. Namaste, amen.